Given that Reba McEntire has just won her first season of The Voice, it is reasonable to assume that she will spend the remainder of this season working on achieving a second triumph. Since the beginning of season 26, the Queen of Country has been as sharp as a tack, and she has been able to put together a diverse group of talented individuals that is precisely what she desires. Despite the fact that another coach is left behind, she is prepared to go at a moment's notice since she has a plan, which suggests that she is ready to move. This is precisely what took place on Monday evening, November 18, when McEntire made a swift adjustment in order to save one of her vocalists during a hard knockout round. The reason why Reba McEntire's performance on The Voice caused Snoop Dogg to be horrified. Lauren Michael Sellers, Danny Joseph, and Tate Renner were the three individuals who McEntire decided to pair together for the knockout, which was essential in determining the final lineup for Team Reba before they entered the playoffs. During the blind auditions and battles, Sellers stood out from the crowd and easily claimed victory with a rendition of Lauren Daigle's song, Hold On To Me. This is something that she has done time and time again. When it came to impressing the coaches, however, Sellers was not the only one. Joseph won over the audience with a cover of Susan Tedeschi's It Hurts So Bad, and by the time the coaches were weighing in, it was obvious that he had also won over Snoop Dogg. He punctuated his singing with hot guitar licks, and he won over the crowd. I love that growl, I love that blues, my people's from down south, we love all that, Snoop added in response. I don't normally hear that on this show, so I appreciate you pulling out that style of music. Joseph's music was singled out by McEntire during her review of her vocalists, and she placed a special emphasis on the strength that he possessed while he maintained his guitar as a central component of his bluesy performance. Danny, you know you're a wild man, she said to him. I will never forget the question that you asked me. Should I lose the guitar? Oh no, that's not the case. That guitar is integral to who you are. Carson Daly, the host, made the typical statements that Joseph was available to be saved or stolen after McEntire had chosen Sellers as the winner and Sellers had had the opportunity to celebrate. In an effort to keep Joseph on her team, McEntire clicked her button, leaving Snoop bewildered because he thought I hit my button. He had hardly gotten the words out when McEntire succeeded in reaching her goal. Danny Joseph emerged as a powerhouse during a night that was filled with riveting performances. He poured his heart and soul into a magnificent rendition of the blues classic played by Susan Tedeschi, which was titled It Hurts So Bad. As Danny sang under the bright lights of The Voice Season 26 knockouts, he did more than just sing. He bled the blues, mesmerizing not only the audience, but also the star-studded coaching panel that featured country legend Reba McEntire, pop icon Gwen Stefani, rap mogul Snoop Dogg, and the ever-suave crooner Michael Bublé. There was a performance that breathed new life into the blues. There was a distinct urgency in the air from the minute Danny Joseph strode onto the stage at the beginning of the performance. A deep breath was taken by him before he unleashed a raw and impassioned opening note. He was dressed in a sleek midnight blue suit that complemented the soulful depth of the song he had chosen to perform. Shivers ran down people's spines as they heard his voice, which was steeped with emotion and roughness. His voice boomed around the studio. The fact that Danny was able to channel not only the notes, but also the sheer essence of the blues was what made this performance truly astounding. The song It Hurts So Bad is a representation of the heartache, the longing, and the profound anguish that he suffered through. He did not merely perform it. Through the seamless integration of traditional blues techniques and a contemporary flair in his vocal delivery, he was able to create a song that was entirely his own. A standing ovation and a heated debate are the reactions of the athletic directors. As soon as Danny reached the song's final, soaring note, the audience exploded into applause, and the coaches stood up to show their appreciation. The reigning queen of country music, Reba McEntire, was visibly moved by the performance. The way you handled that was beyond remarkable. She expressed this while expressing her admiration for Danny's emotional depth. You dug deep, and we all felt it, she remarked. Gwen Stefani, who has always been a die-hard fan of music, was just as enthusiastic. There is a talent in the fact that you have the unusual capacity to make other people feel what you are experiencing that you have. The way in which you experimented with the language and added your own spin was nothing short of brilliant. Snoop Dogg, who is well known for his passion for music of all genres, did little more than smile and lie back and relax. Man, you have that kind of experience. That was blues music with a great deal of attitude throughout. This is the kind of performance that inspires people to have faith in music. It's possible that Michael Bublé, who is no stranger to the art of emotionally charged singing, was the most taken aback. With all due respect, I have to admit that this is the kind of performance that makes The Voice so exciting. You have told a narrative, and you have done so in a really beautiful way. The question of who would proceed became a contentious debate among the coaches as a result of the widespread acclaim that was shared by all of them. A look at the influence of song selection. Why It Hurt So Bad was such a brilliant move. Choosing It Hurt So Bad was a risk that was carefully considered. Due to the fact that the Voice stage is generally crowded with pop anthems, country ballads, and R&B powerhouses, the blues is not a genre that typically stands out as being particularly prominent. Nevertheless, Danny Joseph's decision was extremely profitable. Danny paid homage to Susan Tedeschi's original rendition, which is a harmonious combination of tenacity and fragility, while simultaneously incorporating his own distinctive flair. Rather than only being a cover, his interpretation was a complete metamorphosis. He incorporated modest vocal runs that did not come across as excessive, but rather had a positive impact on the narrative. He played with the speed in a way that was exactly right, which meant that the audience was captivated by each and every phrase. Danny was clearly aware of the significance of authenticity in the blues as seen by his performance. He gave exactly what was expected of him, which is soul. The genre is not about perfection, it is about soul. The drama behind the knockout round. Did Danny Joseph make it through? The coaches continued to deliberate, and the atmosphere in the room became increasingly tense as they waited for the outcome. Because it was obvious that Reba was enamored with Danny's performance, she was considering retaining him as a member of her staff. I realize that you have a great deal of potential, and I am confident that you have even more to offer. It is my sincere desire to be the one who assists you in bringing that out. Gwen, on the other hand, was not prepared to give up Danny without putting up a struggle. His stage presence and artistic ability are what cause people to pause and pay attention to what he has to say. It seems to me that we are merely scraping the surface of what he is capable of doing. Then, in a manner that is characteristic of The Voice, Snoop Dogg offered his 2 cents while maintaining a casual smile. I am able to recognize talent when I lay eyes on it, and this one possesses it, not a cap. At long last, Reba made her choice, which added to the mounting tension. Then, after taking a few deep breaths, she announced, "Danny, you're going to leave me." At the moment that Danny Joseph was embracing his coach, tears began to come up in his eyes. The crowd erupted in cheers. Rather than only being a victory, this was an affirmation of the situation. As a result of this performance that completely blew everyone away, Danny Joseph is now considered to be one of the leading candidates for The Voice Season 26. Supporters are already expressing their excitement on social media, speculating that he might make it all the way to the championship game. What distinguishes him from others is his capacity to bring a genre that exists in the past into the present day. He is not merely a contestant, rather, he is an artist who has a profound comprehension of the emotional force that music possesses. There is no telling how far he can go if he continues to choose songs that demonstrate his unfiltered genuineness when he is performing. Danny is well positioned to achieve greatness because Reba McEntire is serving as his mentor and helping him through the subsequent rounds. As far as his performance in Knockout is concerned, the United States of America has not yet witnessed the best of him. Those who are passionate about blues music, music purists, and viewers of The Voice were all reminded by Danny Joseph's performance of the significance of music. It has the ability to move us, it can heal us, and most importantly, it touches us emotionally. Exactly that is what he did while he was performing on that stage. As Danny Joseph begins his journey on The Voice Season 26, Make sure to stay tuned for this and more updates.